Okay, I think everybody's ready. I'm ready to go. Game two, Arkansas State. Looking forward to that. Coach Anderson has done a very nice job with this program. Just watching them play against Nebraska is proof of that and what they've done in the past. It's his fourth season there. I read where he decided to call plays again, which I think I'm all for that. I can understand why he probably wanted to do that, but they're doing a very nice job. Had a lot of offense against Nebraska, almost 500 yards, ran 90 plays, and then I guess they threw it, I don't know, 68 times, something like that, completed 47 passes, breaking school records and all that kind of good stuff. Five different receivers caught at least 5 balls, so it's kind of hard to figure out who to try to cover. Defensively, they got a young man by the name of Roland Jones, who is, I guess, about 13 sacks away from a national record in sacks. And he's an issue as far as, trying to figure out what we're going to do with him. Very fast, very agile. I mean, you got all the pass rushing skills, obviously, to have that many sacks, but you also are typically a very relentless player, which he is. And that's what you see of their whole defense. Their edge rushers are very fast. Their linebackers can all run. Their DBs play a ton of man coverage. They put a lot of pressure on their corners to do that. Even their safeties at times play a lot of man coverage. And they're going to get, they want to stop the run. There's no doubt about it. When they, from a too deep kind of a look, their safeties are usually the ones making the hit in the running game. And they're very serious about that. Special teams wise, they had a punt return for a touchdown. Taylor, I guess, that was his fourth, and he's about 730 some yards of career punt return yardage. So he returned one for a touchdown. They had a surprise onside kick. They had an onside kick when everybody knew it was coming and got it at the end of the game to put them in position to tie or win the game right at the very end. So they went to Nebraska, which is one of the great venues in America. I was born in Omaha. I grew up a Nebraska fan, and I know what kind of fans they have there and the kind of crowds they have, and had to be an exciting environment to play. So now we're playing in their home, and I'm sure they'll be excited about that, along with their fan base. And we've got to be better than we were last week. We weren't awful by any means, but there's a lot of points we left on the board, and there's a lot of defensive stops that we left on the field. So we got to get better. So with that, I'll open it up and see what y'all want to ask.
Changing any travel plans, leaving early or anything?
I'm going to meet with Blake right after this press conference, actually, and just try to figure out what some of the plans could be. I read his release, and everything's going to be predicated on player safety, both as we travel and or what's happening back here while we're gone. So, I just don't know what the answer to any kind of travel plans right now. Everything's on go, but with this storm coming and the direction it looks like it's taken, it's certainly a possibility it comes here, so we'll have to figure out what's best.
Personally, everything all set back at your place, or as far as prep?
I have to call home and find out what's up. But we're probably, 100, 200 yards from the water, so probably better get some type of plan. No, it really, we all know how serious these storms can be, and everybody's got to figure out what's best. But we, as the leadership of this program, leadership of this athletic department, have to figure out how we're going to go about being safe for everybody.
Mark, does it become a concern just the distraction element? Because obviously these guys, they want to play football, but they're going to worry about families. Coaches are going to be worried about families. How do you deal with it from that standpoint?
Well, right now, again, I really hadn't thought much about it till this morning. And, Blake got up with me and just said that, do you have any idea where the storm's going? I said, I really don't, and I think he probably knew I'd be in the middle of trying to get first downs and things like that. So, it was kind of getting close to practice, so we practiced, and then I've got little media stuff to do here, and I'm gonna sit down with him and just try to figure out what's up. I really don't know what's gonna happen, but a year ago we were dealing with this type of thing, and we're spending the time, 2 or 3 or 4 days, whatever it was, in a hotel when we normally wouldn't. It just changes life. So we'll figure out what's best.
Have you ever been through a hurricane yourself?
When I was a player here, there was a hurricane that went through, and we all evacuated as players, went kind of all over. I went in state somewhere. I think I stayed with a teammate that was in Orlando or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. And then somewhere along the line, we got called back, and Coach Snellenberg being the head coach, we were all coming back like little by little. And as soon as you got there, like by the time I got there, the team was already out there practicing. It was like, hey, get your gear on and get out there. And everybody kind of showed up intermittently, and we practiced in the. I mean, I think the storm maybe turned, but we still got a lot of weather, and I know it was soaking wet, raining sideways. We were still out there practicing, so we didn't have the horn back then. We didn't have the lightning prediction system like we do now.
Did you win that week?
I don't even remember. I don't even know. It might have been even during camp. I don't think it was game week.
What did you think of Travis Homer's game and just what he was able to?
Well, Travis Homer played very well. He ran the ball very well. He caught the ball out of the backfield, made a nice play. I thought as the game was going on, he was doing well. But as I watched tape, I was more impressed with his runs, his physicality, his decisions, his decisiveness, his ability to secure the ball when people were really trying to knock it out and rip it out. A year ago, if you remember, he had that fumble early on in his career, and he learned from it, and I thought he played really good.
Do you have a sense yet of how much he might be able to handle? Obviously, with Mark, what you can put on him, but Travis plays specials.
Yeah, he does. He's playing on all those specials. He is in supreme condition. He does love special team play, and Walton can handle a pretty good load himself. So between those two, and then getting Chalk ready to go, we should. Again, it's always if you stay healthy. If you stay healthy, we should be in pretty good shape if we stay healthy.
Was Amon full go today, and kind of where's he at generally?
Amon is much closer to playing. I wouldn't say he's a shoe-in. He flexed with the team. He got individual with the wide receiver group, and then we shut him down at that point. But there was not because of any setback, but just because we're trying to, little by little, get him in there. I've said it many times. When you recover from a hamstring, you feel great. The day you feel great that you can go full speed, you really ought to wait another 2 or 3 days, quite frankly. And so I know he's feeling a lot better. He moved around well. I saw no signs of him reacting to anything that made him nervous. But we weren't just flying. We weren't in competitive. He has not been in competitive speed yet.
Was it a positive how well these guys played at Nebraska in terms of keeping the team focused on this game this week and not looking ahead?
I think it's always good to watch tape and have respect for who you play and not have to, as a coach, try to make up a story about why they didn't play good or, why we should respect them. I mean, we don't have to say a word. We just watch the film. It speaks for itself. Anybody else?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.